Hi, parents. This is Miss Smith, and I'm just going to take a few minutes of your time to introduce some new procedures that all of the kindergarten teachers are going to use in our collaborate sessions. So, just so we can all be on the same page and kind of speak the same language, we wanted to ask you to watch this short tutorial and then let us know if you have any questions, and always feel free to email us. So, as you have probably noticed if you come to one of our collaborate sessions, we like to start with our collaborate pledge, which is also our rules for the collaborate classroom. So, we always ask the students to say, I will follow directions, I will not prevent the teacher from teaching or other students from learning. I am ready to learn and do my personal best. So that those are the rules that we've set for our collaborate sessions, and it also gives us a language to kind of use when we're addressing the students. So if they're raising their hand or scribbling over the screen, we can say, now you're preventing other students from learning. And then that's associated with the rules. It's a little more cut and dry. But overall, the biggest problems in kindergarten are usually just playing in the chat box or scribbling over the screen when it's not their turn. So it's a matter of learning it as well and creating those routines. So the pledge is our first step towards creating those routines, explaining our expectations to our students, and speaking it in a language that they can relate to. So, with that being said, we are going to start implementing for students that are not following the directions. The first time that it happens, it'll be a warning. Hey, I noticed that my friend, Joe, scribbled on the screen. Let's not do that again. If it happens again, then we're going to go ahead and remove their tools. They'll still be in the session, but they won't be able to actively participate because their participation is preventing us from teaching or the other students from learning. It's distracting. The last step is we're going to remove them from the session and follow up with a K-mail. Hey, your kid got kicked out of today's session because of this. Can you sit with them next time? What can we do to prevent this? Because we want your kids there. We want all kindergartners to come to the sessions as often as they can, and we want it to be something they can learn from. But if it gets to the point that everybody's not learning, we've got to do something, especially for those students that come and do what they're supposed to do. So we just want you to know what our plan is and be on board and on the same page. We don't want this to come as a surprise to any families either. But with that being said, we want to spend most of our time focusing on students that are doing what they're supposed to do when they do well. So we are going to start spotting students that are doing their personal best, and that's going to be our focus. Is you were awesome today, and I want you to know. So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to give you a shout out, and I'm going to let you know that you were spotted being good, and that is a big deal because our goal is to focus on the positive, bring more positive, and not have to worry about the steps that aren't so fun. Hopefully, those won't happen if we're proactive and we all work together. I know it's a little harder for the younger ones to sit at the computer and to stay engaged. And that's kind of why we encourage parents, learning coaches, mom, dad, grandma, someone to sit in their room with them if your student's not ready to participate on their own just yet, or even an older sibling can sit there. But really, at their age, they kind of, especially at the beginning of the school year, they need guidance to get through those lessons. And I know a lot of families work with multiple students at home, or that's a minute that you can take a break, but you've got to kind of know your student too and whether or not they're ready. But if we create these routines, we teach what we expect from them, then we'll get to the point where they can do this independently and they can learn on their own. So that is just a quick overview, and have your students come to the sessions ready to get spotted, spotted ready to learn, and spotted ready to do their personal best. And maybe even, as a parent, you sit down with the collaborate pledge before each session and say, okay, we're going to sit down and collaborate. What are we going to do today? And you review those rules and what you want from them before each session. So that's what we try to do, and we always, we welcome your support at home. You're such a key to this program being successful. So let's focus on getting students spotted and let's get everyone learning and doing their personal best. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email your classroom teacher or anybody in the kindergarten team if it has to do with their particular collaborate sessions. And we can't wait to see you log in.